Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to create this gathered bust detail using the slash and spread method. So there's several things to consider. You have the bust gather detail, you also have the front style line, and then when you turn the dress to the side, looking at the bottom part of the top, you can see that there isn't a side seam, so you just have the side seam at the top of the bodice. And then behind the shoulder dart is sewn, there's a button stand. The bottom dart is actually tucked, but because it's small you can't really see that. So anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to create this style design just by moving your darts. So first off, you trace out the front and back bodice block and then cut it out. So once it's all traced and cut out, now I'm just creating the style line. So those two lines at the front of the bodice. Because this is a small or a half scale block, I've used about 1.5 centimeters. And now I'm just connecting those lines. So the next thing to do is to create or to measure from the bottom of the bodice upwards. I think I used about 3 centimeters here. This will create the bottom panel, you know, the one that had no side seam. So we're going to be creating that on the back as well, because the front and the back will be sewn as just one piece on the bottom panel. So the center back, I've made that measurement slightly shorter just so it gives a slant look. Now I'm connecting it to the front waist dart. And I'll be connecting that up until the middle line we drew earlier, just creating or completing the style line. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to the back, just drawing out that style line. And those points are the balance points for the gathers, where it starts and where it ends. So to create the slash and spread method, I'll be drawing a line from that design line to the arm side. That's the line we're going to be slashing to create the gathers. Now we're just going to cut out the bottom panel of the blouse. Once that's done, I'm taking away the top half just to work on the bottom. We still have the darts open, so all I'm going to be doing now is closing them up. All you need to do basically is just cut one end and stick it together either with a glue or a tape. Here I've used glue. And don't forget to label your patterns. Trust me, you will forget and be confused. You wouldn't know what side is the top part of the pattern or the center back. It gets crazy really. So now I'm repeating the same step for the front dart. So that's closed, and now I'm also putting my annotation. So that's the center front. So basically this is me joining the center front, or should I say the side front to the side back, because we don't have a seam on the bottom panel, just like I showed you in the beginning. So you can see how the top does not align. That's where you use your ruler to blend it. This process is also called, or also known as, truing the pattern. Now I'm just going to go ahead and trace the entire thing onto the new piece of paper. So once the tracing is done, all I'm doing now is adding the button stand to the center back. So I think I used about 2 centimeters for this. I'm just connecting the lines to create one whole pattern. So now I'm going to cut that off. So I have labeled the pattern, so that's the bottom panel all done. Now it's time for the top front. So this will be the side front. To close that dot you have open there, I'm just going to draw a straight line to the tip, the apex of the dot. And I'm also going to now slash that line we drew earlier. So I'm slashing this one to close the dot. And then I'm slashing the line to create more gathers. So you want to cut to the point and not through, so you don't want to separate any of the pieces. So that's me closing the arm side, or the dot rather. Okay, so now I'm just going to trace this onto a fresh piece of paper. And that's the side front done and labeled. Now it's time to work on the back. All we'll be doing basically is adding the button stand. Remember, we added it to the bottom panel, so we have to do the same thing for the top. So I'm measuring that same 2 centimeters and just drawing the line upwards. So I've cut that out and making my annotations again. So that's the button stand, like I mentioned. And that's the back done. So just adding some further annotations just to help me when I cut the pattern. So that's where the gathers will sit. And that's my center front. So I've just quickly pulled back the original center front because I forgot to transfer the gathered point. So that's very important because you want that center front to align with the side front where I've also marked the gathers point. So I've just transferred that and then that's done. So here is the pattern all done. Side front, center front, the back. I even went and cut some facing which I would end up not using. And then Right now, I'm just drawing my green lines, which is very important because you need it when you cut on fabric. So this is the pattern literally all done. It's very simple. Just with cutting slash lines, you've created an easy flattering pattern, especially when it's on a full or a real size human. The bust gathers is always very flattering, and you can turn it into a V-neck or whatever neckline you like. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye.